Hello everybody and welcome back to another mod showcase on the channel. Today I'll be showing off the Old World mod as well as its little submods. Obviously you've got the main massive Old World mod and then the two littler versions. It will all make sense when I actually show it all off. I do think it's very important to show these kind of mods as the whole entire purpose of this mod showcase will be, because of the pure talent in it and just the capability of being able to pull off what this mod has done is insane. I will show a little bit of the settings as well, because there is a boatload of factions in this mod. To say it's the Old World mod, right? So it cuts out a lot of, like, for example, Cafe is not in it, Ulthuan, stuff like that, Lustria, they're not in it. However, despite that, I think I counted yesterday, like 92 out of the 100 playable lords are still in some capacity present on the map. Which speaks volumes as to how insane this is. When you've cut out all those massive places and you still, on the big version, on the main mod version, still have capacity in some way or another to have 92 out of the 100 playable lords is impressive. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before we load into the Old World map, as you can see here, it does override the Immortal Empires map. So if you want to play Immortal Empires, you can't use this mod. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, you're only going to be playing one mod at a time anyway. Sorry, one playthrough at a time anyway. But just be aware that it kind of overrides it. This is it. Clicking on this will bring you into the menu with all the playable factions. And like I say, literally everyone in some capacity, here you can see the actual map. Everyone in some capacity is here somewhere or another. Albion over here is just a clusterfuck, I'll be honest, of just factions which shouldn't be here but kind of are. I don't know. You'll see. I'll show you Albion when I actually go around the map. It's a murder ball up there. There's loads of factions just all vying for power up there. One thing I do want to quickly do is just show you up here. If you go into mod configurations and then the Old World campaign mod settings, here in the map I'm about to show you, you can choose certain lords to spawn in at certain different locations. So like Naggrund, Elftown, Conquata, Karakoksi. Yeah, so you can choose which ones spawn. So, for example, in Elftown, you've got Tyrion or Ilariel, and then just a generic faction. Here we've got Malekith, Marathior, Crone. Again, whichever one you choose, the other ones won't spawn. So this is kind of where I say out of the 100 playable lords, you can get 92, but in the next playthrough you could switch it around and choose Marathior instead of Malekith. Do you know what I mean? So it can change. Mazmundi, again, Lizardmen are kind of hitting it hard because there's no Lustria. So Krokgar, Tic-Tac-Toe, Gorok, and then here Xiaoming or Miao Ying. So just to show you, for example, if we click on here, we go on to Cafe. Over here is where Xiaoming starts. Again, Rambo on Albion. It's a messy one. So yeah, Xiaoming over here, but then if we go on here and we click on here, do that. You maybe have to back out. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Try again. There we go. So exactly the same spot, but now it's Miao Ying instead of Xiaoming. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Another thing, which is very important, is there are like 500 factions in this mod, if not actually more. I'll tell you the official amount when I actually load in. There is an absolute ridiculous amount of factions in this mod. It doesn't matter so much on the more specialised campaigns, which I will show off, but on the main massive Old World altogether mod, there is a boatload of them. So what you can do is you can click this, which will kill distant minor factions. So from where you spawn, and depending on how many factions you decide to kill with the kill percent, so for example here, 75% of the minor factions that will be killed. So that's the percentage of what will be killed and completely wiped out. it will do the farthest away ones first. So say, for example, I'm playing as Miao Ying here. If I was to activate that, the furthest away, which is down here in the Chaos Ways, the furthest, sorry, not the Chaos Ways, the Demon, I believe that's Tzeentch. Tzeentch's little bubble. Well, again, we'll get into that. The minor factions down here will just be obliterated. And 75% is a hefty portion, so it would probably cover, I'd say, up until the Darklands. That many. It doesn't wipe out legendary laws, so any legendary laws down here will just be able to be absolute powerhouses, but the idea is it cuts down turn times and it allows you to not have to, you know, faff around with enemies you'll probably never ever see. So just food for thought. If you did want to break it down now, like I say, the little submods probably will be not necessarily a better choice, but you'll see, you'll see. But without further ado, I think that's all the little technical things about what I need to show you. Let's actually get into the old world mod and show you around a little bit, because it is a fucking beautiful map. I'll be honest. So let's get into it. Right, so we have loaded into the old world map. I think what I'm going to do just straight up to get-go is just kind of give you a quick little look around the whole entirety of the map itself. Just as reference, I've picked Reichland just so we kind of get a general theme as to where we are. A lot of the places you'll see when I actually dive into it are the same, but better. A lot of the factions have been expanded on, or a lot of the settlements have been expanded on, a lot of new areas have been added, broadened, everything. So as you can see here, we've got the Empire goes all the way around here to where Kislev is. Kislev has more little minor factions as well. We'll get into this when we cover the classic old world mod, but I just wanted to give you a bit of a rundown. So as you can see here, all the legendary lords, if you can pick them out, we've got Festus still, obviously, where he would normally give or take be. We've got Taurox down here now. He's going to be a bit of a naughty boy. And we'll head over to Bretonia. Again, keeping very similar theme here. But again, when we get to the Old World Classic, you can see it just gets bigger. Especially when you get to like some of the major settlements, some of the major cities become its own province, which I think is so cool. Obviously coming down, you've got the Wood Elves still, a little bit more broadened, a little bit more opened, more woodlands. Going across to the west here, we've got obviously where Ikit is. Usually it's like he comes around here and it kind of stops here. It's just massive now. There's so many more like Southern Empire realms down here, which is really cool. You've got like the pirate hideaway down here, just absolutely boatloads. It's a really funny one. There's just every faction going down here, all fighting for, you know, supremacy to be the ultimate scallywag. However, Prince Sigvald is also down here. I feel like it'd be better if, like, me, I don't know, maybe Wulfric was down here or someone. But yeah, throw him in. He's a pirate now. Going down further south, we've got Araby, the deserts of Araby, and the Nehekara. Again, really, really good looking. Here, we've got the realms of Tzeentch. The things with all the realms is it's all populated by different demon forces. However, general rule of thumb is the leading demon force, like for example Tzeentch here, the main Tzeentch army should hold supreme. It would apply in the other realms as well. It just kind of gives these factions a bit of time to like fight each other before then heading obviously down into the mortal realms. I will showcase obviously the realms of chaos a little bit more in depth, because I think what they've done with the realms of chaos is very impressive. Nothing to scoff at all. And definitely something which I wish CA would have done, because it would have been so much better if they would have done something like this. You'll see. Anyway, keep on going east. We head over. Again, we've got all the deserts down here with the Tomb Kings in it. We've got the eastern coast here with where basically Hrothgar would be around here. Unfortunately, he's not. But this would be give or take where he would be if he was Kingdom of Beasts and stuff like that. Carcassonne also would usually be give or take down here. I think he's been moved down in this mod. Going up through the Badlands, we've got lots of new dwarven races here. Like we've got Clan Baruch just chilling. Nikai here as well. Nikai's finally shown his face in somewhere else, which isn't Cafe, which is really nice. We've got Teclis here. Badlands, again, you'll recognise a lot of the Badlands. Wuzag is pretty much back where he used to be against Clan Helheim, though. You'll recognise a lot of the places, but it's just bigger. Like, instead of, like, one province with 4 settlements, that 4 settlements will be split down to, like, 3 additional settlements per the other settlements. And it just makes it so much bigger. Obviously, you got the mountains here where the dwarves hold. Caracazul there with I was trying to merge the name and the clan there with Cazador Dragon Slayer against Queek. So again, plenty of Skavens up here, loads of new Skaven clans. Going up the mountains where the dwarves reside. Going just back down, obviously here we've got more of the Southern Realms as it connects to where Ikit is, which is he is here. I just can't see him. Oh, he's there. He's there fighting against another Skaven clan. So that's fine. Wulfric actually is down here as well, which is going to be a little bit of a different start for him. That's pretty cool. Again, just touching briefly on the Empire. Vlad's give or take where he would always be. But if you look where Thorgrim is here, again, the whole entirety of the mountains has just been like reshaped and made bigger. So usually Ungrim's not too far away, but Ungrim's actually miles away this time because of just the amount of extra settlements. Going up north though, we'll go east in a minute. Going up north though, again, the mountains just keep on going. There is another minor dwarf faction here, which is quite cool. I love me some dwarves. Going up into the Kislev lands, again, lots of new Kislev factions. Again, I'll show you. I'll show you this in a minute. Really impressive with what they've done with Frot's Hellpit. It's so cool. It's so cool. Going up into the northern Norscan wastelands up here, where the Norscan resides. Again, Norscan's a bit of a murder ball. There's just every faction ever going on up here. We've got some new. We've got the old Karak Drak over here. We've got the old white dwarf Grumbrindle just chilling. Obviously Boris. Skulltaker, is that? Oh no, looks very similar to Skulltaker. Skulltaker is here somewhere. Oh, Skulltaker's in the Corn Realms. Oxyotl, bless him, doing his own thing. Sisters, Twisted Sisters. Lokia, absolutely, literally is just an absolute murder zone. And then the ultimate murder zone, again, we'll go back east in a minute. The ultimate murder zone is here. In Albion. Albion is just such a balls to the walls little area. There's so many legendary lords on this small little island. Basically, there's like 2 or 3 minor factions. So there's a Tzeentch faction, a Wolof faction, and a Norscan faction. And then there's Marcus, which is just going to be running rampant. There's Lord Mazdamundi, but as I showed you in the beginning, you can swap him out for a different Lizard Lord. Be'lakor, who has his major settlement up here on a floating island, which is pretty cool, the Drifting Castle. Malekith, again, you can swap him out. Yuan Bo, and then Alefanar. I don't think you swap him out. I think he stays there. So yeah, kind of order tidy, kind of not. I mean, Be'lakor and the Dark Elves could maybe come up with some kind of union there, but yeah, it's a messy one. It's a messy one for sure. I mean, the Lizardmen don't necessarily like the order tied any either. I mean, look at that. So they're not the biggest of fans. While we're over here, let's have a look at the Slaanesh realm as well, which again is being occupied by a lot of different demonic factions. But just look at the 7 rings here. If I zoom in, again, the the capacity of this mod, it's so cool. Each ring has its own major settlement on it, and it goes all the way up, all the way to the top, to the palace of Slaanesh, which is so cool. I love it. It's so nice. It's so thematic. A little bit, as you can see there, a little bit glitchy with the camera, but I mean, just being able to pull something of this feat off is insane. It's so cool. We'll get back into the Slaanesh realms in a minute. Dark Prince's realms in 2 seconds. As we head back over east, we've got the Northern Chaos Waste, where literally the rest of the Chaos Warriors reside. You've got right stuck in the corner here, Archaon. You've got Kolek, not too far off either. You've even got the start of where the Chaos Dwarves will be. Again, a couple of other Kislev factions, which are pretty cool. We'll touch base with them in a minute. Over here we've got Blood God's Domain. So this is obviously Khorne's. Their Skulltaker. Chilling up here. Again, wherever there's going to be a Legendary Lord, obviously they'll take the main priority. So I would assume Skulltaker will just clear out here. There is 2 factions of Khorne anyway, so they'll probably ally up and go against Slaanesh definitely. And then obviously head on to the other 2 minor factions. As we head down south, we've got the Mountains of Morn, where we've got, again, mainly ogres, but we've got Zhao Ming coming in here. Again, sorry, Miao Ying, not Zhao Ming. Miao Ying, she can be swapped out with Zhao Ming, so it depends which one you'd want to spawn there. Coming down into the Mountains of Morn, plenty of ogre factions, with a couple, oh, there's Throwick, I said he got moved. With a couple of different factions belonging to different races, like there's a Bretonnian faction there. Here, instead of just having Naggrund, Zharr Naggrund, sorry, just be one settlement with like 3. Again, when I get into this area, it's so well done. It makes it, and I've played a stream of this before, it makes it really feel like like a slaving district, like everything's just run by slaves. Even all around it's surrounded by obviously minor factions here, and they're all in somewhat meant to be themed as slaves. Like there's a dwarf faction here which has the Chained of Zharr, Grand Cafe faction here, the Labourers of Zharr, Ogre Thralls of Zharr. Do you know what I mean? So like they're all run, and there's so many new Chaos Dwarf factions as well, which I think is pretty cool. So again, going down into the Chaos Darklands, the Darklands, where the Chaos Dwarves reside. Again, just loads of new Chaos Dwarf factions. A couple of Cathayan factions as well doing their own things, but these are more bandits, right? Yeah, Darkland bandits. Finishing off down here, we've got, again, just more Chaos Dwarves. We've got Greases over here as we just come on the edge of the Mountains of Morn. And then right down here, we've got a little bit of a Lizardman present with 2 Lizardman factions here, where we get to the Haunted Forest. Dark Elves, we've got Malice down here. This is give or take his like Warhammer 2 start, right? Where he used to spawn. It's not too far off, thematically at least, where Kugath now would spawn on the Immortal Empires map, right? Kind of down here. Imric doing his own thing down here as well. Again, not too far off from where he would spawn. You'll recognise a lot of the different places. They've just been tweaked and twisted and made better. So like he's got Dragon's Landing here. It is give or take where he would spawn, but it looks quite unique. Again, more of the mountains where the dwarves reside. And then down here, finally, just going to finish off with the Land of the Plague Lord, where again, lots of different factions, all vying for power over the Land of the Plague Lord. But there is the Tallyman of Pestilence himself, Epidemius, who again will be probably holding a fort down for the Plague Lord down here. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is just show you some of the settlements, and then I'll give you a breakdown of the minor submods and what it kind of cuts off and what it doesn't. So without further ado, let's get into that. Okay, so we are here in the Land of the Plague Lord, and thematically, this mod just makes everything look so nice. I mean, here we've got the Mansion of the Plague Lord. Just absolutely appalling, to say it politely. It looks incredible, though. We've got tentacles everywhere, pulsing blobs of just grime and gunk. Just, it looks so nice, with obviously the sound effects as well. It's a shame, it's stuff like this where you wish, and not just this, obviously the map itself, where CA would take some inspiration and like implement it, some stuff like this. Obviously you got the fucking whatever the fuck this thing is. I would love to believe it's just like Nurgle's giant schlong on the side of his lands, just chilling right next to the Laird and Maggot Lords. Really cool. I mean, down here as well, we've got Hentai Land. Plenty of tentacles to go around everyone. If that's what you're into, it's so nice. Obviously, a massive skull here. The heads pulsating there, so good. It's so good. And then the actual like aspect of the Chaos Realms as well. Massive fucking mushroom with just shit all over it. The actual aspect of it as well is you kind of go down these tunnels here into the realms of the mortal, into the mortal realm. So like it just fits in nicely. It's like the original game mode for Warhammer 3. The name slips my mind because it's that irrelevant. But being able to go to the different realms, I think it is actually called Realms of Chaos, right? Being able to go to different realms of chaos was nice to see those different sceneries, and now they've just kind of thrown it away like, oh, don't worry about it, because that campaign's shit, right? So we don't want to see that anymore. But this mod kind of sets it up like, this is what it should have been, this is what you could have done. It looks so nice. Just real quick, let's swap over to a different a different realm, just to kind of show you the precipice of just how much talent has gone into making this. It looks so good. So without further ado, let's head on to the next one. Okay, so here we are at the Tzeentchian lands, where Tzeentch himself would like to play and do lots of trickery and stuff. Again, the Impossible Fortress, just kind of chilling up here with a little bending way up here. Again, just thematically, so nice. So nice. You've got obviously like the Tzeentchian eyes, the portal to God knows wherever down there. Just so cool. It looks so pretty. Who's actually running this? The Swords of Change. Cool. Again, just scenery wise, you've got the Crystal Labyrinth. I like how stuff like this, like the Crystal Labyrinth, actually looks like it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks like it could be a Crystal Labyrinth. It looks so nice. Plenty of different factions again just fighting up here. The scenery is so nice. Again, we're keeping in themes with, like, you know, tentacles. Every demon likes tentacles, right? This is the 9th library. Lots of screeching going on. Not too sure what's happening there. But just so nice. And again, the way we get down to the mortal realm is here. And again, it just kind of has the idea is it's a portal, right? Portal Twilight. This is the idea of how you actually get from Chaos Realm to Mortal Realm. You kind of like traversing, right? The Mortal Realms. Sorry, the Mortal Realms, the Chaos Realms, to get to the Portal Twilight to then get into the Mortal Realms. Again, it's just stuff like that which just makes it so nice. It's obviously not all the same level. It's all very random and elevated, and in some situations not elevated. It just looks so nice. We do have also portals here linking from one side to the other. So it's just so good. It's so good. I really do enjoy it. But with that kind of thematic scenery set up, let's have a look at some of the major settlements which have been kind of split down. I'll show you what I mean. Let's just head on to some of them so I can show you. Okay, so a good example here would be the Sentinels here. So in the Immortal Empire map, it literally is just this boy, the Sentinels, just kind of sitting here, chilling, doing their own thing. But here, again, it sets up a lot of like scenery, lore building, a lot of life to the campaign map, where it doesn't really have this in the Immortal Empires world, which is a shame, a great shame. So for example, here we've got different pyramids kind of surrounding the Black Pyramid of Nagash, and occupying it is an archaeological expedition, which I think is just so fitting for an Empire faction down here to be just kind of looking for lost relics or whatever and doing their own thing. Again, just really cool. We'll head on to another map. Another city again, just to kind of show you. Empire's a really good one, so we'll head on to that. Okay, just before we head on over to the Empire, I found another one just down in the deserts, which again is just so nice. This, in the Immortal Empires map, if it was in the game, would just be one settlement. They'd just merge all four into one settlement. Now, don't get me wrong, with all these additional settlements and all these different additional factions, it does have its downside, because end turn times can be incredibly long. Incredibly long. I'm talking a good 3 to 4 minutes. I've got a fairly decent PC. Turn times isn't, something massively detrimental to me, but it still takes a while. But again, like I showed you at the very beginning, it does give you options to obviously get rid of factions which aren't near you, so you can reduce it. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you this. Another good here, the City of Dust. Again, just a really nice, thematically, you've got a Tomb King's faction here, some Tzeentch running these two cities here, and then you've also got the Vampire Counts here. So kind of an uneasy alliance maybe between these two while you're fighting the Tzeentchians here, but I don't think it'll last long. The Undead factions don't really like each other all too much. But again, really cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to now head over and show you the Empire lands, but I'll also show you the classic Old World mod just at the same time, kind of kill two birds with one stone. So let's get into that. Right, so here we are loaded into the classic version of this mod. Again, all mods will be left in the description below, so you can install whichever one you please. So nothing changes with the factions, but I'll just quickly show you about what's basically included in the classic version. So, the realms of chaos have been cut off. Be'lakor has escaped by the hairs on his ballsack. Literally, the drifting castle has just escaped the culling there, so he's still going, bless him. The pirate murder zone down here unfortunately has been reduced to nothing as well as obviously Araby, Tzeentchian realm there, all the way across here to the east. Lands of Plague Law's not here. The Darklands not here, not currently present. Khorne land domain, sorry, the Blood God's domain, there we go, lands of the Blood God, and then a lot of the northern Chaos Waste here. So Archaon up in the upper Shroudlands unfortunately is no longer here, but everything else I showed you in the original is here. Going down, obviously you've got the World Edge Mountains there where the dwarves reside, all the way down pretty much as well. Cafe's really taken a hit in the grand scheme of things. There's only one Cafean Lord here. There is a minor Cafean faction down here, the Agents of the Moon, which are very dark and mysterious. Look really cool. But, we've still got the Badlands. Still got the Badlands. We've still got, obviously, the southern realms here still chilling. Bretonia's still here. The Empire's still here. Wood Elves, Dwarves. Kislev still going strong, and I'm quite thankful actually they took Mother Stankia and put her basically in Kislev and made Kislev huge. Kislev literally obviously goes all the way round down here now instead of getting cut across almost like here it used to be. So Kislev is massive now, which is really nice. And then obviously the Norscan area as well, where the Norscans called Hum is all still here. So just going back to what I was going to say a minute ago is let's show you a couple of these Empire settlements. For example, Altdorf. Altdorf in the main map is just one... sorry, in the main map. In Immortal Empires is just one settlement, right? Well, Altdorf is now its own province, which I think is so cool. So here, Altdorf has been split down into an actual city. We've got the South Bank, the City North and East End, which again, it's just so nice that a massive settlement like Altdorf isn't just put down into one settlement, it's split out amongst 3, amongst the whole entire province, which is just so cool. It's so nice to see, like, stuff like this. Like, it just adds, like, thematically life to the game, which is just so nice. Again, if we go over to Marienburg's another good example. Again, Marienburg owning a lot of it, but then Elftown's here, and again it's kind of split Marienburg down into 3 little settlements. Tyrion is here currently at the flats, however he can be swapped out as well. But again, just another great addition here, where it just adds, you know, something to it, like life to the game, and it just looks so nice, so nice. Another good one is Nuln. You'll see this a lot. You'll see this present very much so everywhere. Obviously, really fighting with some vampires here. Nuln, I would just burn it down at this point, but you know, still going strong, I guess. It's the exact same thing. It looks like a proper city split down into different districts, just looking so nice. Hellpit is another great example. Let me just show you Hellpit over here. Hellpit. Here we are. So here's Hellpit. Kind of similar to like the Realms of Slaanesh. Actually, kind of similar to Realms of Slaanesh from the original campaign. Do you know where you'd like go down each teleport? It was, again, very annoying, very tedious, but look nice. Just instead of here, you actually go all the way around, which is really nice. So obviously you got the entirety of Hellpit here. You've got Pit Bottom with the 9th, 8th and 7th circle. You've got Hellpit with the 4th, 5th and 6th. And then you've got the Gates of Hell with the 1st, 3rd and 2nd circle. Kind of annoys me that they're not the other way around, but it is what it is. It's quite funny because this is obviously occupied by a Khorne faction here, a Slaanesh faction there, yeah. And then obviously Hellpit is right at the bottom. Throt himself is right at the bottom, so he's going to have to fight his way out just to actually get into the world. Obviously you can underbarrow and stuff like that, but just to actually get out into the world, he's going to have to fight through all of his rings of the Hellpit, which, again, it's just so cool. But with that, that's a general scheme of things as to thematically what we're going to look at here. Let's head on over to the other submod. So this is the classic submod, which again pretty much only includes the old world, right? Cuts out a lot of the additional content, but still has so much in it. I counted a minute ago, it still has like 50, 60 legendary lords in it, so it only actually cut out 30 or so legendary lords by cutting out obviously all of the realms, all of the Darklands, and pretty much the whole entirety of the deserts down south. So to say that I only cut out 30 of them, and the pirate realms over here, not too bad. So, you know, still a lot of different characters you can play as. With that being said, let's head on over to the next one. Right, welcome to the final little submod. Like I say, there is a third one in development at the moment, and I will cover that when it comes out. But this is the final of the 2 submods for the original Old World mod, which is the Darklands mod. The same thing I'm going to do here, just kind of show you what it cuts off, and just show you, again, just the world building with stuff like this. It's so impressive. So it, as the submod kind of probably implies, it's just the Darklands. So if we zoom out here, Northern Chaos Waste gone, World's Edge Mountains majority gone, in fact all completely gone. Everything past the World's Edge Mountains gone. Going down south here, we do hit the Sea of Dread, but we don't get the Land of the Plague Lord, unfortunately. So all the realms of chaos gone, the deserts still out of here, see you later. And this is the most refined campaign. If you want a small little playthrough, a quick, you know, reduced but also, you know, well done campaign, this one would be the one for you. There is only 12 available legendary lords out of the 100, so this one, it really shows just how little there is. This is a good mod to actually play as a Order Tide faction, because there is barely any order tide. It's kind of putting you against the odds here. It's a shame because this place here, Blizzard Vale, is where the legendary Lord for Cathay, whichever one you choose, would spawn. So they only just miss it, unfortunately. Legendary Lords for the Chaos, for the Order. We've got Throic. Really squinting here. Imric down here. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I mean, Greasus, if you can include him. There are obviously other Order factions, like you've got the 2 Lizardmen factions, like I mentioned before. Plenty of Ogres, as long as you align with them. A Bretonnian faction over here, right? Even though these factions here are technically slaves, they are still inherently their own faction, right? So they're not going to act as slaves. So you've got the Dwarves, Cathay, a Kislev faction here, an Orc slave faction there, Darkland Bandits. I mean, no one says who the Darkland Bandits to, so these are also order tied. they could be raiding the Chaos Dwarves for all we know, which they probably are. Outside of that, there's a Kislev faction here, and then that's it. That's all she wrote for the order tide. Oh, and Karakazul. Sorry, and the Bretonnian faction. Yeah, I think I mentioned them. Yeah, you got not Karakazul. Sorry, Karakazan. Here, he's chilling. So there's some order tide factions. And Pig Batter. Good old Pig Batter, Southern Realms. He's here. But generally speaking, it's a rough one if you're playing Order Tide. There is not many of you. But in saying that, it adds a nice sense of beating the Darklands by unifying all the Order Tide factions, the ones which can survive. Or unless you're like me, who uses a Resurrection mod, you can revive them at their major settlements. So again, it's quite nice. Really, again, thematic. If a slave faction gets wiped out, you can kind of revive them here, as if you're like literally releasing the slaves. Just having a look though at Zharr Naggrund, how beautiful this map is. It is being so well put together. Really, I mean, look at the railway. You even have a train going up and down, which obviously will be ferrying stuff back and forth from the outside world into Zharr Naggrund itself. Cranes go in, absolute lava everywhere. So nice, so nice. The scenery. This looks like just a massive fucking cannon on here. So good. And you get obviously into Zharr Naggrund itself, a massive walled bastion here, and obviously it's the Sentinel one, so it starts at tier 5, so this is a naughty boy with Gorf there obviously chilling. So good. It is so nice. Another good settlement to show you is probably the Gates of Zharr. Here, lot. Just beautiful. Obviously you got the more inspired Minotaur looking statues here. I say Minotaur, but obviously the based of after a shot, but they're basically Minotaurs, right? Yeah, again, just another settlement which looks cool. The train comes all the way down as well. And I like stuff like this because at the end of the day, you're not going to be playing like this, right? You're not going to be clicking like, oh, I'm going to move my lord down here. You're going to be playing like this. You're going to be playing close, looking at your army, looking at the settlement and doing whatever you need to do. So just having stuff which just looks so appeasing to the eye is so nice. Obviously it looks like, what's his name? Zatan here is coming to put down an Ogre Rebellion. But yeah, there we go. I'm looking forward to the other one. So the other submod which is coming out is going to be the Araby Southlands expansion. So literally focus all around them. So I'm excited for that, to see what they do there, what areas are cut off, and yeah, see what kind of campaign that will turn into. But that being said, that has been the Old World mod with both the submods showcased. Absolute beauty of a mod. Adds so many new settlements, adds so many new factions, so many new landmarks. Absolutely beautiful.
The only downside, there's actually two downsides. I would say, is one of them the turn times. I've already mentioned it can take a long time. Not so bad on this in the submod, and that's why it's nice to play the submods because it gets rid of so many factions. So this submod only has like 100 and something factions, so the turn times is ridiculously quick with only 12 legendary lords as well. So really good turn times for here. So it's only really for the main mod where that applies, and funnily enough, and the mod creator even mentions this, the distance between settlements, the settlements are pretty much where they are meant to be lore-wise, and he even says, for better or for worse, getting from one settlement to another, especially when you take into account like settlements like this, like the North Howling Wastes, getting, say for example, Zharr all the way to this is going to take you like 4 or 5 turns. It's rough. I balance it out by playing with SFO, which allows me to bump up my movement speed here. I put it on 100% and it balances it out really nice. You can't tell it's on basically double movement range, but I would recommend it. If you don't like SFO, obviously that's a different matter, but I would recommend it for that purpose. That's the only downside I can see to these maps. Incredibly well done, incredible talent by the mod creators. Absolutely astonishing the amount of hours and dedication the mod team, I know there's lots of people have worked towards this, so absolutely hats off to you, credit to you, absolutely amazing mod. But with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed. Please do leave me a like if you haven't already, subscribe as well, as I will be creating more of these mod showcases. And I wanted to do the old world mod because there's a lot of mods coming out for the old world mod, right? A lot of, like, for example, I know there's a mod which adds a lot of new Chaos Dwarves for the factions which have been introduced in this mod. So, you know, something I'd like to cover, but in doing so, I need to cover this mod as well. So, this will bring me to the outro. I hope you've enjoyed. I will hopefully catch you in the next one, and have a good rest of your day. Bye!